keep winning.
So you're thinking about packing up, hitting the road, doing the big lap of Australia, but you've got questions, right? How do we do it? How do we survive? Like, how do we survive financially? Is there a way? Let's talk about that. During the COVID pandemic, Australians were not able to travel overseas, so consequently, domestic travel here in Australia reached unprecedented levels. Sales in the RV market rose by 60% and RV manufacturers just couldn't keep up with the demand. 12-month waiting lists for ordered caravans were now the new normal. Prices for used caravans and motorhomes, camper trailers, old school buses and Toyota Land Cruisers reached market prices that the country had never seen. This is an unprecedented time that I'm sure none of us will ever forget. And there are now more travelling families out there on the road than we've ever seen. So the question, most importantly, how do you do it? How do you survive financially? Can it be done? Yes, of course it can be. And it's not just for people like us in RVs. Look, there are people out there travelling around the world on motorcycles, on foot, on bicycles, on horses, even people sailing around the world in yachts. And you can find all of these characters on YouTube, and a lot of them are actually quite good. So how do they all survive? I mean, financially. Well, everyone's situation is different. Personally, what we did was put our jobs on hold for 12 months. We sold both our cars, our motorcycle that we had at the time, and a mother of all garage sales of all the crap that you think you need, but you actually don't. So when we left, we just slowly sipped on our money reserves that we had in our bank. That's how we got through the 1 year. I might add though, we just made it to the end and returned home pretty low on funds, but that's what we expected. It's very important to know that simply saying, oh, we'll be okay, we'll just live minimalistically, we'll free camp around the whole country, we'll live on 2-minute noodles, beg, borrow and steal our whole way around Australia. Look, you just can't do it. You need money. Food, fuel, vehicle maintenance and costs, replacing camping equipment, they're all becoming an expensive commodity. It's just that simple. That being said, although these things are to consider, I don't want you to overthink it and just never end up going at all. That's not what I'm here to say. We know of many and varied ways that other people in the travelling community are financially independent. Some travellers are retired, like the grey nomads, and they have access to pensions and their superannuation. But that's obviously not the case with all the younger travellers out there, including us. Some people sell their homes to live on the road permanently. Now, personally, I really warn against this. This is a really tricky one. You can be locked out of your market, but that's okay for some people because some people just want to wave goodbye to the area they live in for their own reasons. And in that case, well, that's okay. But my advice is to consider renting out your home. That way you still have the power there of being a bricks and mortar owner. However, that wasn't an option for us. We just couldn't find anywhere to safely store our household belongings. And the self-storage options weren't an option anyway because we couldn't find any that were available. And secondly, they're actually really, really expensive. They're like $1,000 a month for one single garage space, and we would need 2 or 3 to store our whole home. So it clearly wasn't an option for us. Now, moving on. What about producing income through social media? Seems to be very popular these days. Well, this is a really, really hit and miss. And to get it straight out in the open straight away, we never made 1 cent on any of the videos we produced on our trip. We mainly did them for us and us only and had a bit of fun with them. Look, it was a hobby. It was a passion. They were never made to generate any income. But for those that do, I'll tell you how they do it. Monetizing YouTube, and all this information is on YouTube or the internet, and you can research that yourself. Can get fairly complicated. You need to do a lot of work. I repeat, you need to do a lot of work on YouTube to get a channel monetized before you can even afford to have that first cup of coffee. They are a lot of work for very, very little return. So for most, unless you make it big, that's not really an option. Secondly though, sourcing sponsorships. Now there are the camping community out there, and the very few that are on social media that enjoy the benefits of sponsorship, and I've seen them all. Camp World, BCF, Super Cheap Auto, Anaconda, Warn Winches, you name it, they've sponsored someone on YouTube to get their business brand out there. Unfortunately, we weren't in that position either, and it's not something I was really sourcing anyway, or seeking, because we knew we only had 1 year in us, and then we we're going to arrive home, and that was it for us. So they're the two ways that people on social media can make money. Now, although the social media platforms has now become very crowded among the travelling folk, I did not say online businesses are not possible. Absolutely it is. In fact, one of the very first things I bought for our Winnebago was a large motorhome cover for it from an Australian website. So I rang this guy on his contact number to check on stock, where the owner eventually told me he was a fellow traveller, currently on the road and operated his little online business straight from his caravan. So there you go, it is possible, and there are people out there making it happen. Lastly, don't forget the obvious, conventional employment. You won't believe the amount of job opportunities there are on Facebook pages like Travelling Australia. You see gigs for working in caravan parks, rural farm stations, roadside diners. It's quite surprising. Keep an open mind. Treat it as just part of the travelling, work as you need to, and pack up and keep moving to the next adventure. Several months ago when we were on the road, late one night I was reading through these Facebook job pages and I came across this, and I want to read it to you. Looking for work. Currently in the Central Coast of New South Wales, willing to travel to Victoria or South Australia for suitable jobs, 59 years old, Australian citizen and keen to learn. I'll look at any location and role. I'm a builder's son doing carpentry, steelwork, plumbing, chainsaw. I can weld, I've got bush mechanical skills, can turn a hand to most things. I'm a qualified electrician. I know my way around a solar system and electricals, capable of working under electrical contractors if needed, comfortable with firearms, no current gun licence but happy to apply for one if needed, want to learn new working skills with horses and cattle, tractor operations, mustering, trail bikes, etc., and willing to learn more if you're willing to teach. I'm available from mid-September, have a New South Wales HR and motorcycle licence, have a wife, a toy poodle dog, and I live in our motorhome and follow where work is. I don't require any accommodation, just somewhere to park and access to fresh water. I'm new to station work but willing to learn anything. I'm COVID vaccinated, I have my vaccination certificate, willing to upskill, experience in food industry prep and selling to the masses, drug and cigarette free, I drink alcohol occasionally, zero criminal history, and I'm willing to get a current police check. Very keen to upskill, learn and grow. Ideally suited to a caretaker, handyman, maintenance role on a cattle station, hotel, dairy farm or similar, and I don't mind getting my hands dirty. Easygoing, willing to work weekends, public holidays, nights and early mornings as required. And this gentleman had supplied his mobile phone number. So I kept this ad just out of pure curiosity. This was posted up on Facebook several months ago now, and I felt the desire to ring this man last week just to see how he got on and whether his ad was successful. Indeed, yes, he had 4 job offers and he's currently residing in Victoria on a dairy farm, and he's very, very happy, and he's still a lover of travelling Australia and doing the lap. We had a good old chat about the travelling community and the lifestyle out there. So, and even he said, at 59 years of age, if you can't find work around Australia, then you're not really looking. Guys, if you're sick of your conventional 9 to 5, Monday to Friday job in the office, and you're looking for a change, we've been around Oz, it's all happening out there. Grab it with both arms, give it a crack. At the end of the day, will it cost you money? Yes. Is it easy? No. Is it worth it? Absolutely it is. Look, guys, it's only money. It's meant to be spent. It's meant to enhance your life. And let's face it, you can't take it with you when you go. So get out there, have a crack. What are you waiting for?